The best Godzilla video games of all time. Hey there, gamers and Godzilla enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the worlds of gaming, nostalgia, and all things epic. Today, we're taking a massive trip down memory lane. Get ready for an earth-shaking journey as we explore the best Godzilla video games of all time. From pixelated classics to modern masterpieces, we've got a lot to cover, so let's stomp right into it. You know, there's something undeniably captivating about a giant, radioactive lizard stomping through cities, isn't there? Godzilla isn't just a movie monster. He's a cultural icon who's been smashing his way into our hearts since 1954. Over the decades, he's not only dominated the silver screen but also made a colossal impact on video games. The early days of Godzilla gaming. Godzilla, 1983, Commodore 64. Let's kick things off with a real old-school classic. Back in 1983, Godzilla debuted on the Commodore 64. Now, I won't pretend the graphics were mind-blowing, they were pretty basic, but hey, it was the 80s. The game had you navigate through a maze to save your offspring, Manila, while dodging military forces. Simple? Yeah. Addictive? Absolutely. Godzilla. Monster of Monsters. 1988, NES. Jump ahead to 1988, and we've got Godzilla. Monster of Monsters, on the NES. This game was something else. Combining side-scrolling action with strategic grid movement, you controlled Godzilla and Mothra battling through space and alien planets. Fighting classic kaiju like King Ghidorah and Gigan was a real treat. The 16-bit era, Super Godzilla, 1993, SNES. Into the glorious 16-bit era with Super Godzilla on the SNES. This game took a unique approach by blending strategy and fighting elements. You'd guide Godzilla across a city map, encountering enemy monsters where the game shifted into a side-view battle. Timing was everything. You had to charge your energy to unleash powerful attacks. Godzilla. Kaiju Daikessen, 1994, Super Famicom. Now, this one's a hidden gem. Godzilla. Kaiju Daikessen was a Japan-only release for the Super Famicom. Think Street Fighter 2, but with giant monsters. That's right, kaiju battling it out in a 2D fighter. The roster included fan favorites like Rodan, Ongiris, and even Mechagodzilla. Evolution into 3D gaming. Godzilla Generations, 1998, Dreamcast. Welcome to the world of 3D. With the release of the Dreamcast, Godzilla Generations brought the king of the monsters into a whole new dimension. You could play as different versions of Godzilla, including the classic and 98 versions, stomping through cities like Tokyo and Osaka. Godzilla Generations. Maximum Impact, 1999, Dreamcast. Just a year later, we got Godzilla Generations, Maximum Impact. This sequel aimed to improve on the original by adding faster gameplay and more playable characters like Mechagodzilla and Kiryu. The game shifted towards an on-rails shooter experience, which was a bold move. The fighting game renaissance. Godzilla. Destroy All Monsters Melee, 2002, GameCube, Xbox. Alright, now we're hitting the big leagues. Godzilla. Destroy All Monsters Melee was a smashing success, pun intended. Released first on the GameCube and later on Xbox, this game let you brawl with up to 4 players in fully destructible cities. Godzilla. Save the Earth, 2004, PS2, Xbox. Building on that, Godzilla. Save the Earth took everything great about its predecessor and dialed it up. More monsters? Check. Better graphics? You got it. The game expanded the story mode and added new gameplay modes like challenges and survival. Godzilla. Unleashed, 2007, Wii, PS2, PSP. Godzilla. Unleashed came roaring onto the Wii with motion controls that let you physically swing to perform attacks. Talk about immersive. The game featured over 20 monsters, including newcomers like Biollante and Titanosaurus. The storyline revolved around mysterious crystals causing environmental havoc. Modern Godzilla gaming. Godzilla, 2014-2015, PS3, PS4. After a bit of a hiatus, Godzilla returned on the PS3 and PS4 with a game simply titled Godzilla. This game focused heavily on destruction, growing larger as you demolished buildings and absorbed G energy. You could play as different monsters like Mothra and King Ghidorah. City Shrouded in Shadow, 2017, PS4. This one's a bit off the beaten path. City Shrouded in Shadow isn't solely a Godzilla game, but it features the big guy along with other famous Japanese giants like Ultraman and Evangelion units. You play as an ordinary citizen trying to survive as massive battles tear the city apart. Mobile and online titles. Godzilla. Smash 3, 2014, iOS, Android. On to mobile gaming. Godzilla. Smash 3 inches combined the addictive nature of Match 3 puzzles with kaiju action. Matching tiles allowed Godzilla to perform various attacks against military forces. It was simple to pick up but had layers of strategy to keep you engaged. Godzilla Defense Force, 2019, iOS, Android. Godzilla Defense Force took the idle clicker genre and added a Godzilla twist. You defend cities from waves of attacking kaiju, collecting monster cards to bolster your defenses. The game featured monsters from throughout the Godzilla franchise. Crossover appearances. Call of Duty. Warzone, 2022, Operation Monarch. Now, this was a surprise. In 2022, Call of Duty. Warzone hosted an event called Operation Monarch, featuring none other than Godzilla and King Kong. Players could witness these titans battling it out while trying not to get caught in the crossfire. Fall Guys, 2020, Godzilla skins. Who said Godzilla can't be cute? In Fall Guys, players could dress up their characters in adorable Godzilla costumes released to celebrate the monster's 66th anniversary. Running through obstacle courses as a tiny Godzilla was as hilarious as it sounds. Honorable mentions. Primal Rage, 1994. While not officially a Godzilla game, Primal Rage deserves a shout-out for its contribution to the giant monster fighting genre. This arcade fighter featured prehistoric beasts and deities battling for dominion over a post-apocalyptic Earth. War of the Monsters, 2003, PS2. Another game worth mentioning is War of the Monsters on the PS2. This game was a love letter to classic monster films, featuring original creatures inspired by the likes of Godzilla and King Kong. Players fought in open arenas with interactive environments. The legacy of Godzilla in gaming. Impact on the genre. Godzilla games have had a sizable impact on the monster and fighting genres in gaming. They've pushed developers to explore themes of scale, destruction, and power fantasies. Games like Rampage and Shadow of the Colossus owe a nod to early Godzilla titles. Community and fan projects. The Godzilla fan community is nothing short of amazing. Over the years, fans have developed mods, indie games, and even tabletop games featuring their favorite kaiju. From adding Godzilla into Minecraft and Ark, Survival evolved through mods to creating entirely new experiences in Gary's Mod. So there you have it, a colossal journey through the best Godzilla games ever made. From humble beginnings on the Commodore 64 to epic battles on modern consoles, Godzilla's gaming legacy is as vast and varied as the monster himself. Each game, despite its flaws, brought something unique to the table. Personally, Godzilla Save the Earth holds a special place in my heart. The thrill of battling online and mastering each monster's moves kept me hooked for ages. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite Godzilla game? Did we mention it, or is there a hidden gem we missed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this epic adventure. Until next time, keep on gaming, and remember, size does matter.